that symbolically we believe that the biggest obstacle we have to overcome is out there, and many times the call is coming from inside of our own house. I think that the worst enemy that many people have is the voice that's inside of their own head. Now, this voice has probably maybe come from the outside world, but we've now internalized it. You know, we have become our own worst enemy in some regards.
Yeah, and by the way, that's one of the enemies. That's one of the enemies, and there isn't one. It's the famous Matthew McConaughey speech that he's given. Hey, one guy asked me who's the greatest actor in the world, and he says, hey, you know, I'll tell you. And then you're like, I want to meet the 35-year-old version of me. And hey, when I get to 35, you know, I want to end at 45. It's always looking forward to what that next better version of you is going to be. But at the end of the day, even Alexander, one of his famous quotes is, I have met the enemy, it is I, right? And although that is one element of an enemy, that's great. We need that. Michael had it, Brady had it, Kobe had it, but there's a crazy psychologically, you can call it, you know, psycho competitor that they're constantly in the search of recruiting their next enemy. It's like, you know, life is boring if I don't have my next target. You know, I'm almost, you know, bad for myself if I don't have the next target, the next enemy. And if I choose it the right way, then I'm able to bring out a side of me I've never seen before.
What's the function of an enemy?
What is the function of an enemy? What is the function of falling in love? Why do you need to fall in love? Why do you need to have a wife?
It's enjoyable. It's pleasurable. Okay. It's fulfilling.
But what does it do to you, though, when you're in love? You know how they say when a person is in love and they go and test their brains and it's like somebody that's on drugs. You've seen this before. You probably read this before, right? Okay. So, but what's the risk of love? Heartbreak, losing years of maybe you love the wrong person. Maybe they don't love you in return as much as you love them. Maybe you're going to give more than they're going to give you. Maybe a betrayal. Maybe it's an act. Maybe it's just good for the season. Maybe they're going to change their minds if they really find out what you're. There's a lot of risk to love. But why do we love? You know, it's a very unique relationship. That risk is exhilarating. It's exciting. You know, maintaining it, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's why nowadays most people don't want to get married. Nowadays there's a movement of, I don't want to get involved, to getting married. I don't want to have kids. It's too risky. I want to live for myself. I don't want to have the responsibilities. I don't want to be heartbroken. Okay, great. I think, you know, one time a friend of mine and I, Arash, were in Italy. And I rented this place in Tuscany, Italy. This is like 10 years ago. And we're staying there. And Arash and I, when we're together, we like to debate. And we debate about anything. It doesn't matter what the topic is, anything, okay? He's like the Middle Eastern Bradley Cooper. Too good looking of a guy. One of those guys. Kind of like you're a good looking guy. He's a good looking guy. So we have a 3-hour drive to Cinque Terre, okay? It's a beautiful place you go to. And it's a long drive to go to it. You know what we're debating about? Love. Here's what the question was. Can you love somebody? You know, define love for me. He says, love is a feeling. It's emotion. It's this. So great. I said, say you're in jail. Your wife is somewhere else. How does she know you love her? How do you show her love? Is love a verb? Is love a feeling? Is love a noun? We're having this conversation, right? And then you realize the risk of loving is worth it. I can't imagine living life without having that love. It introduces you to a person you've not met before. Man, a great enemy does that as well. A formidable enemy is going to introduce you to a person you've not seen before. By the way, could be ugly, could be scary, could be, oh my God, who is this person? Why are you acting like this? Why are you thinking like this? So most of us, when we see, it's almost like that, the movie Venom. It's one of my son's favorite movie, right? The Venom comes in, it's like, there's an ugly side to it if you lose control of it, right? And you become reckless, then you hurt people around you. Then you're actually not good for yourself. You're destroying your own life. That's why the key word is what? Choose your enemies wisely. It's not have an enemy, it's choose your enemies wisely. If I choose the right enemy and then I have this relationship with this enemy, sometimes it's a 1-month enemy. It could be a 1-week enemy. It could be a 1-day enemy. It could be a lifelong enemy because it's yourself, because that's a permanent enemy. And just like a love affair, there is an affair with this enemy. It's actually a beautiful thing.